Hey, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to help you serve and volley like Roger Federer. Please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Even share this video with a friend, as those are the best ways to support this channel. Now, before we start, big thank you to Tennis Builder on Instagram. They allowed me to use this footage. I put their link in the description below. Please give a follow to Tennis Builder. Incredible pro footage. So the first thing I want to talk about is why you want to serve and volley. Did you know that Roger Federer, it's basically a 50-50 if he wins the point at the baseline, but he wins well over 60% of the points when he's at the net? Not even Roger Federer has a clear advantage when he's at the baseline. So getting to the net is so important for your win-loss record, right? You want to be able to get to the net, and one of the ways to get to the net is serving and volleying. So the first tip I have for you is to toss into the court, so when you're done serving, you are inside the baseline. You can see that. He has moved inside the court with his left foot by jumping onto his left foot since he is right-handed. Now, whether you jump or not, you just want to toss forward into the court so you are leaning in, allowing you to get a step in, and it helps you to get up to the net. It just brings your momentum toward the net. So the first tip to have a great serve and volley is to toss into the court so you fall into the court or jump into the court. The second tip is to follow the 1-2-3 split step footwork. So I want to show you what this is. I want you to watch when he lands. That's step one. Step two, watch Federer's feet. Step three, and then split. Now this is actually a very advanced split step footwork that I'm going to show you, but he does two types of split steps, a basic split step and an advanced split step. But let's get to the steps first. He takes 1, 2, 3 steps, then split steps, and you'll notice he split steps in the middle of no man's land. A lot of players are under the misconception that after they serve, they've got to get all the way up to the net or well inside the service line by the time the opponent strikes the return. And that's just not true. Unless your opponent is standing way at the back fence to return serve, or your serve is very slow, and you wouldn't want to serve and volley at that point anyway, you're not going to be able to get in very far. So the proper place to be when you split step is really in the middle of no man's land. Now, the proper timing of the split step is to actually split your feet apart after they make contact. So watch the opponent. I believe that's Diego Schwartzman. He returns the ball, and now Federer split steps. You want to be basically in the air as your opponent strikes the ball, and that synchronizes your brain reaction time with your body hitting the ground, and then it's seamless. You can move in any direction you want to go. Now, Federer uses a very sophisticated split step here, where he's airborne when he notices where he wants to go. He knows he wants to move to his left the moment he sees this ball, so he plants his right foot first, and that allows him to push his body that direction to move slightly out of the way of the ball to hit his first volley. I wouldn't recommend that type of split step for someone who is just learning to split step. On this next volley that Federer is going to hit, you'll see the more basic split step that you can use really on all split steps if you're just learning to split step. Now, the first volley. This is where people are shocked at where the pros make contact with their first volley. The first volley is generally hit at the service line. And when you're hitting this volley, you want to move through it, and you want to hit deep, whether it's down the middle, whether it's to the open court, whether it's to behind them. You just want to pin the ball deep and keep your opponent back. And when you volley deep, it gets onto your opponent really quickly. They don't have a lot of time. So you can see he moves through this volley, hits the ball deep, and now he is ready for a second ball. Now, the first thing is notice where he's standing. This is what I call shadowing. If your opponent is on the left side of the court, you should be slightly on the left. If your opponent is on the right side of the court, then you should be slightly on the right. You want to stand in the middle of their two best shots. Well, the middle of Diego Schwartzman's two best shots down the line and cross court is actually right where Federer is. He is bisecting the two best shots that Diego Schwartzman can hit. So when your opponent is on one side and you're at the net, be slightly on the same side, and you'll be equidistant to either passing shot they try. The next idea I want to show you is his split step. Now, there's the contact right there. He's making contact. Notice Federer is in the air. he is not landing his split step. You don't want to land before your opponent hits or as they hit. You want to land just after. So what I tell my students is be in the air as your opponent strikes the ball. This is that more basic and conventional split step. Watch how Federer is landing with his feet hitting the ground at the same time. On the first volley where he was coming up, 1, 2, 3 split step, you can do the normal conventional basic split step if you're new to split stepping. It'll be just easier for you to figure out. And then you can become more sophisticated as we saw Federer use that kind of 1 foot landing split step. But just land with both feet. You'll notice again, he's in the air. He sees where the ball is going. Now, Schwartzman is over to the left. So that means all of this court is wide open. So Federer hits a short volley. Now he's very stylistic here. He's very nonchalant, hits the ball very short and wins the point. You don't necessarily have to be so cute and have the racket just give like this. You can hold the racket more still and just drop it short. You don't have to let the racket give and put a ton of backspin on it. That is very difficult to do. But these ideas are so simple. Even though he's doing it at such a high level, they really are very simple. So let's go over this one more time. To improve your serve and volley and get to the net more often so you can win more matches, toss the ball into the court. Whether you land by a jump or just step in, take 1, 2, 3 steps and then split step. And your split step will be in the middle of no man's land. Move forward to the volley and you'll be around the service line hitting that volley. Hit the volley deep and follow it in, getting on the same side of the court as your opponent, slightly on the same side of the court as your opponent to bisect the down the line and cross court. You're still going to split step by being in the air as your opponent hits and then landing just after. That helps you to move in any direction you need to, even back in case the ball is a lob. And then move quickly at an angle to cut it off and try to hit the volley short into the open court. So if you follow these Federer serve and volley tips, there is no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.